Okay, take two. I'm just gonna trust that this is going live and we're just gonna continue on. For some reason, I had a black screen before, so we're starting fresh all over again. Okay, so we are talking about this. This is Heart Health Month, and I want to help you to understand that there could be some potential heart related symptoms that your body is giving you that really have nothing to do with your heart, as it's not functioning correctly, like heart health, like you're having heart attack or anything like that. So it's giving you signals, it's giving you some symptoms, but it is not related to heart disease, okay? Stewarding your wellness helps you to stop being nervous or afraid of the symptoms your body is giving you and start understanding what your body is actually saying and what it actually needs. And stewarding your wellness is so much more than managing your health. You know, the world manages health. As believers, we are set apart and we have the Holy Spirit living inside of us. Our body is a temple. And that brings me to 1 Corinthians 6:19. Remember, it says that our body is a temple. Let me just read it. Don't take my word for it. 1 Corinthians 6:19. Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have received from God? You are not your own. Okay, so we are set apart. Our body is a temple. And so today I wanted to talk about the heart stress connection. And when your body is having a hard time keeping up with your full and stressful life, right? Because we all go through hills and valleys, right? That's just the way it is. It's just life. We have times where we're in the fire. You've heard me talk about the fiery trial that I lived in for 3.5 years. And it was just, it threw me into my fatigue crisis and burnout. So the heart was giving me a lot of symptoms, and I'll share a little bit later, but you can make 2026 your best year in your wellness. You really, really can, because I want you to quiet the noise, seek the Lord, and listen to what your body is telling you. Okay, it was designed with such brilliance and wisdom. So February is Heart Health Month, right? I chose to do this live today about the heart stress connection because several women have experienced what we will be talking about, and I want to shed a very specific light on heart health for women especially. So if you are new to me, if you are new in this group, welcome. I am so happy that you are here. I'm Michelle McCoy. I help high functioning women just like you to own your health as you are stewarding your wellness. How? Well, we do this very simply so that it is doable and sustainable. We're quieting the noise and we are focusing on what your body needs most at any given time. And we do this all with keeping our faith at the center, because it's got to be at the center of all we do. Our faith, our family, and health freedom is at the forefront of our heart. And this is all about how you can build truly satisfying wellness, right? That will only add fuel to a full life. This isn't about doing less. This is about helping your body to feel safe, understanding the signs that it's giving you so that you can continue to support it. So if you are here because you want, whether you're here on the live or you are watching the replay, you want to prioritize your wellness, especially in 2026, you are in the right place. You are in the right spot right now. And so I want to just kind of share some heart-related symptoms that you may be experiencing and bring you encouragement that you really can trust the signals your body is giving you. I don't want you to be nervous. I don't want you to be afraid. I don't want you to be worried, because your body is giving you very clear signals, and it's a messenger for you. Okay, so when I was preparing for this, the song, breaking up is hard to do, kept hanging out in my head, because I had typed out keeping up is hard to do. Well, that's all it takes for a song to come into my mind, right? So breaking up is hard to do. And so then I'm like, who sang that? So I had to look that up, and it was Neil Cicada. Do you remember him? Forever ago, right? So stress we need to break up with stress, right? We can't manage it away. We can't like pretend it's not there. It's there, right? But we can change the way we perceive the stress in our lives. So, stress is really the real root cause of why you are not recovering from your exhaustion, why your fatigue is so heavy, why your heart is giving you some of these symptoms that we're going to talk about. So, you probably feel like your stress is normal and just part of your life. If you feel that way, comment, type like me in the comment section. Yeah, because you're not alone. You're not alone. A lot of us get to this point in our lives, 50, 60, even 45, in our 40s, and we're like, is this just it? Like, I'm just always under stress. I'm under so much stress I don't even feel like I'm under stress. I'm just getting through, right? So I want you to lean into what your body is telling you. Stop being nervous or afraid of your symptoms if you are, and start understanding what your body is actually saying, what it needs, and this is how you can steward your wellness well. Because again, it is so much more than managing your health. We don't want to manage our health. We don't want to manage our symptoms. We want to know why our body is giving us the symptoms that it is. Why is it giving us the signals that it is? So we don't want to robot our way through life. No more. So, okay. Before we talk about the actual symptoms, and you may want to have a piece of paper as I go through those, but I want to address something that a lot of women don't even talk about it much because we just suck it up and deal, right? Suck it up, buttercup. When your heart is racing or it starts skipping beats and your chest feels really tight, at first you brush it off. We all know, we're all intelligent women. We all know that our hearts react to stress and anxiety in these ways. Our hands get sweaty, we start sweating, our heart starts thumping, our heart maybe even skip beats, we'll get these palpitations, right? So we know these symptoms of stress. We know it, we've lived it. And that is how I felt years ago when I was first experiencing heart symptoms that were really related to my stress levels, which of course back then in my 30s, I didn't get the connection. I didn't get that it was stress related. Incidentally, during that time, I actually broke out in a horrible case of shingles, which I thought was an older person's issue. But the doctor actually said, no, you must be under a lot of stress. What's going on? He actually asked, and I was like, I'm not under stress. I was, but we just, women, we're doers. We just get things done. We check that box, move on to the next. Check that box, move on to the next, right? And so I didn't get the connection, but my body was sending me a very strong message, and I wasn't getting it. And it ended up being shingles. Our skin is our largest organ. So if something pops out on your skin reacts, consider what's going on. So I was just really focused that it was my heart. My heart was the problem. And many women that I have worked with have done tests with their providers, even going so far as to have a full cardio workup with EKG, blood work, all of that. And they have been told that things look normal. But yet their body still feels off. They're still struggling with extreme fatigue. They're still having a ton of brain fog, cognition issues, trouble recalling. But because the doctor checked and ruled out the heart, which is the right thing to do, by the way, they tend to send women on their way, still feeling off, but with the comforting knowledge that it's not their heart that's failing, just like it was not my heart that was the problem, but it was the signal. It was a signal to me that something was off. And this may be the same for you. This mini training is to help you understand why your body may be reacting the way it is. And with these heart-related signals that it's telling you something, after years of carrying a lot, handling a lot, juggling a lot, shuffling a lot, and rarely slowing down to really restore harmony in the body. The brain body, mind, body, soul. It's all connected. Okay, so we have to acknowledge that, and we cannot compartmentalize. So you may not be thinking, what's wrong with my heart, after you've had all the testing done, because you ruled that out. Praise God, you ruled that out. Everything is good. But you still may be thinking, why? Why is my heart skipping beats when everything checked out okay? And unfortunately, in conventional medicine, there's not a lot of digging. There's some digging, but there's not a lot of digging. And of course, this is not across the board, right? We need conventional medicine. I'm not hating on conventional medicine, but it goes so far. If there's not a problem that they can solve and fix right then through surgery, medication, then we're left with more questions than answers. And it's not a good place to be. It's very upsetting to be sent on your way feeling like you have more questions than answers. Tell me in the comments if you have felt that way, because I know I did. I remember sitting in my car, not even leaving the parking lot, just crying because I didn't feel heard. I didn't have answers, and I barely had eye contact. And I felt very dismissed. And so once again, I had to go figure this out on my own. So a lot of women do wonder if it is their heart even after testing, because they may have experienced a similar experience. So according to the American Heart Association, Heart Health Month was first proclaimed in 1964 by President Johnson. And it began as like a national call to take charge of your heart health. And so let this be my charge to you, my call to you to steward your wellness and taking this first step by processing through, what is my body telling me? Okay. What is focused on so much now is not so much lifestyle awareness and changes as medications to manage symptoms. And largely heart health has been pioneered after men, even for women. And we're vastly different, right? But fortunately, things are changing. So many things are changing in the heart health space. And I'm so grateful for that. There's so much more awareness now of how women can present differently with heart attack symptoms. So stay aware of these. But I don't want to take time to talk about that, because we've all heard the symptoms and everything of that. But I do want to help you understand how your heart can be telling you much about your stress levels and your exhaustion, because again, you can be perfectly fine. Your heart itself as the organ can be perfectly fine and healthy, but you're still presenting with heart symptoms. Okay, this is where we're getting into the symptoms. This is not an exhaustive list, okay, because of time. But heart palpitations, feeling shaky, feeling weak, having heaviness in your limbs, rapid heartbeat, extreme fatigue, even shortness of breath. Your stress-induced fatigue and exhaustion is a big signal that you don't want to ignore or keep pushing through. Ask me how I know. So stubborn. I was very stubborn, and this is when God made me lie down. Like, he literally, from Psalm 23, he made me lie down. So your heart is the messenger. It's giving you information, data. Who loves data? If you're a numbers junkie, put that in the comments. Who loves data? So I am such an investigator. This is why I go hard when I have lab reviews with my clients, because I want to get to the root. I want to help them see what their body is telling them through their blood. And I don't want to keep kicking the lab test can down the road. Remember, we are 2/3 of the way sick before a diagnosis is even made. No, thank you. No, thank you. We don't want the diagnosis, and we don't want to be kicking the can down the road. We want to know now, because now is when we don't feel right. So there can be a mismatch between symptoms and tests. Everything checks out okay or normal on a conventional range, and then when you get your heart checked, you have an EKG, it comes back normal. I know mine did, but your heart is still reacting to give you information. It's the messenger. So you have these persistent symptoms that seem to be heart related because it's your heart beating out of your chest or skipping beats. The skipping beats used to freak me out. I'm not going to lie. Like, I used to get really freaked out, and then I just got so used to it. So I just kept ignoring it because I'm like, well, obviously I'm not having a heart attack, because I ruled out. I wore a heart monitor for 2 weeks, ruled everything out. Everything was fine. I'm like, okay. So I started ignoring it. Why? Well, I had a sick daughter at the time. So all my focus was on her, just family, just life, work, life, all of that. So, when everything comes back normal, but you're still having these heart-related symptoms, we need to pause. We need to recognize that it's a message to us, and don't push it off. We're just so often told everything looks fine, sent on our way, we don't feel fine, or we're given an SSRI, which is an antidepressant, which is not the root of the issue, but it can sometimes feel like an answer when you have felt so bad for so long. I totally respect that. But if you know that that's not the problem, it really makes you angry, right? Because you feel what? Dismissed. Is this making sense? Tell me. Tell me in the comments if this is making sense. So this is where you pause, you pray, and you seek wisdom. You can stop being nervous or afraid of your symptoms and start understanding what your body is saying and what it actually needs as you steward your wellness. So take a deep breath. As you are learning to trust your body as it speaks to you. It's speaking to you to help you, not to harm you, okay? The heart is the core of our being. The Bible is repeatedly telling us how important it is to be keeping our hearts pure. Above all else, guard our heart, right? That's in Proverbs 4. So the heart is actually mentioned over 1,000 times in the Bible, and the majority are in the books of Psalm and Proverbs. That's pretty amazing to me. The heart is that spiritual part of us where emotions and desires dwell, right? It's like the soul is our mind, will, and emotions. It's part of our soul. So it makes complete sense that it would react when we are under constant stress. So long-term stress, remember I went through the fire, keeps us in that fight or flight or freeze mode, or even worse, fawn stage, but I'm not going to get into that. Even when your life looks a little more manageable on the outside. You have it all together on the outside, but you are crying a lot on the inside, maybe slowly dying a little bit on the inside. You're just not feeling like yourself. But you look put together, you're still functioning, you're highly functioning, but your nervous system is kind of stuck in that on mode. You tend to have hormonal, this phase in life, right? The menopause, perimenopause phase in life tends to make it a little bit worse because we get those hormonal swings, we get blood sugar imbalances more. So stress can raise your resting heart rate up to 15 beats per minute. So if you're like constantly checking your Apple Watch or your Garmin or whatever you're tracking and it's elevated, what are you doing at that time? Do you actually pause? Do you actually stop or get up from your desk or relocate and do some deep breathing to try to help your heart? Mineral depletion like sodium, magnesium, potassium, this can actually increase your heart palpitations if you're depleted in minerals, and it's also increasing your fatigue. I was super low in my minerals, and I had no idea. Having midlife hormonal swings can lower our body's ability to tolerate stress, right? You don't feel like you can rebound as fast. You don't feel as resilient. You feel like you're responding and you feel like you're reacting more than responding, right? Because it's just that knee-jerk reaction. You're still going and doing, but you have less bandwidth and capacity. And we know that cortisol is our main stress hormone. And stress triggers cortisol, pumps it out, which then takes priority over all other hormones in the body. And it's not in your head. You're not imagining this. It's not something you must live with because you are in the season of life. You are running on empty. I call it foggy fumes. And your body is trying to get your attention. But I don't want you to be worried. I want you to be informed. Okay, remember, as you are stewarding your wellness, you are owning your whole health, and you are helping your body by first off listening to your body. So I want to share a client testimony. She really thought this was her heart. I mean, she is executive level. She had a clear cardiology checkup. She actually had to go to the ER because in the middle of the night, everything was just going wonky. She did everything right. She checked things out. She made sure it was not her heart. Okay, but she was having persistent fatigue and heart symptoms, pounding heart, palpitations, skipping beats, really high heart rate, even when sitting, and especially when she would lay down to try to sleep, skipping beats. I experienced a lot of those same symptoms. And it was really, once everything got checked out and we started working through this, because she'd been sent away, clean bill of health, you're fine, your heart is fine, you need to rest. We were able to understand and identify the mineral imbalances. We were able to help her body to feel safe. Remember, our body needs to feel safe to heal and recover. And so her palpitations reduced, her blood pressure came, actually her blood pressure was really down and it was swaying between high and low. That stabilized, her sleep stabilized, her energy started to return. And so we had to stop chasing the symptoms, even though the symptoms are giving us messages, right? We don't want to chase them. We need to pause and say, okay, so what's not right? And we needed to support her stress load. We needed to support her mineral imbalances, her blood sugar swings, her sleep disturbances. And her body, when we did that, started to feel safe and it started to calm down. It started to trust her. And so your body needs to feel safe to heal. And that is why I want to invite you to come inside Midlife Health Restore. This is a container of faith-filled women seeking accountability and support each week as they're walking out their own wellness journey. You realize that your body is just running on empty. Congratulations. That is the first step, recognizing that you need support and you need help. And you don't want to keep trying all the things anymore. You just want one clear focus to help you build out a foundation of wellness. So message me for more information on that. I will be posting the link inside this video once it is on there in the group. But what your body needs is to restore. It needs to feel safe. We need to help your nervous system regulate. We need to help your body systems communicate better. We need to build into your day these rhythms of rest. These, I call them daily restore times, like sacred pauses where we just need to pause, breathe. Oh my goodness, please breathe, because your body needs to feel safe to heal. Restoration is not white knuckling your way through a already full life and feeling like garbage. Restoration is not just sleeping in on the weekends and calling it good. Restoration is not just a vacation. Your body needs more. This is why you still feel exhausted after you've had 2 weeks on a tropical island, or you had a staycation and you slept in late every morning and you went to bed at a regular time and you were really careful to not stay up late scrolling. Like, you made really good choices and you're still exhausted. So there could be a signal your body's telling you, and without knowing exactly what that is, you know what your body is telling you, or that it's telling you a message. So I can assure you that implementing sacred pauses throughout your busy day, it is vital. It is a vital piece of wellness restoration. So pause right now, take a deep breath. And the more you do this, the more you will feel natural doing it. Women shallow breathe, and it keeps their stress so high due to lack of oxygen. It affects the nervous system. So keep breathing. Have a pause, sacred pause, every day, at least once a day during your work day. So I hope that was helpful for you. And now your next step is that invitation. Come inside a beautiful container of faith-fueled women seeking accountability and support each week as they are walking out their wellness journey together. And yeah, I mean, your energy will return. Sleep will improve. The things that are stressing you out physically in your wellness will get better when your body starts to feel safe. So Midlife Health Restore, it's where we help you to continue to lead with strength and steady energy and sharpness, that mental sharpness, so that you can continue to do what you love to do, and maybe even start leaning into the different calls that God has on your life that you just haven't had the capacity for, the energy for, the bandwidth for. And so this is, one thing I will share real quick, and then I will stop the video. But one thing is, I know I felt so alone in my journey. I felt so alone, and alone is a very lonely place to be. And more than likely, if you are like me, you've tried other programs, you've been sold a bill of goods that didn't deliver, and you've been told you just have to live with your symptoms. After all, it's menopause, and we all know menopause sucks. Yeah, I was told that. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to suck. It really doesn't. But you've tried to go it alone with endless research, supplements, shakes, detoxes, cleanses, all of these purchases, right? None of which gave you the true relief that you are praying for. You've tried a lot. And I commend you for that, because this is how you are trying so hard to be your own best advocate. And I was there too. All you want is your energy, your focus, your sleep, your joy, your confidence back. Maybe lose that 10, 20 pounds. You want your energy to stop having drastic crashes, right? You want to stop waking up already exhausted. You want to have a clear focus instead of 15 other things to do and try all at once. You want support without guilt, pressure, shame. That's all of the enemy. That's not God's way. And you want regular accountability, and you want your symptoms to stop feeling random. So Midlife Health Restore is for the woman who gets up, shows up every day, handles it all, even when she's exhausted, and wants the support to walk through so that she can start feeling the energy that she needs to continue on. And by the way, actually enjoy life a little bit better after the workday is over. I hear that over and over again. I want to be able to enjoy my time with my husband, or I want to be able to enjoy a craft again. I want to be able to enjoy my creative side of me again. I have no energy to do anything when I get home. So shift through the thought that you might have had that I just need to get through the season. How many times have I said that to myself? No more. No more. So pushing through used to work, and it doesn't anymore. I mean, it kind of does, but you feel worse, right? You take longer to recover. And it doesn't mean that anything's wrong with you. It doesn't mean that you have to necessarily shift how you do things because you're that age. It means your body is asking for something different. So don't do what I did. I learned the hard way so many times that, the level of pushing through that I used to be able to get away with, it stops working over time. As stress grows, your life gets busier, energy drops. And this season of life it's a different kind of busy, right? It's not that we're less busy. It's not that we're maybe necessarily more busy, although that could be true. It's just that it's different. It feels different, and everybody's experience is going to be unique. So we want to support your body with what it needs now. So if you're like, I'll deal with my health later, let this be later so that you'll be glad that you dealt with your wellness at this time. So I pray that this was helpful for you. And I have an ask before we hop off for each woman listening live or on the replay. And I apologize, I cannot see any comments in here. If you would take 2 seconds and direct message me with your number one takeaway from this mini training, it helps me be able to create the content you really need and you really want. Okay, have an amazing rest of your day. Remember, you are a beautiful treasure. Your body is a temple, so treasure your wellness.